fallen to the radiant forever.
Good day, friends, and here we go with Arena of Blood Season 2. We're glad to see you on UCC Broadcast, and next couple hours, all action, trial, blood, and awesome plays are for you. Guys, our partner EGB.com gives you an awesome proposal. First deposit bonus of up to $600. At EGB.com, you also can find convenient service, daily quests, and a bonus system. Interesting? Click on the banner under the broadcast. Just click it. Just click it. Hello guys, my name is DSwordfish. I'll be your caster for today. We have FlytoMoon versus Friends in this match number 2. Friends, actually, okay, wait. I have to think back to the last game. So, Friends was winning, then they threw, and then FlytoMoon was winning, and then FlytoMoon threw, and then Friends won. So then I guess it makes sense that Friends won, because the throw counters a throw. Okay. Just double checking. So Friends, unsurprisingly, then won that lineup. They actually played an early game really well. That mid lane matchup is definitely Ushash's favorite. I was very surprised, but I don't think the TA should lose against the Morphling as hard as they did. I think the TA usually does okay or better against the Morphling, but Ushash just destroyed Port Stormstormer with his best hero as well, which is why it's surprising. Once again, in terms of draft, I like FlytoMoon's draft much more. I don't love the Bane, but it's still a really solid draft. The Arena Blood into the Supernova is fantastic. I remember it's great against ranged heroes. Usually ranged heroes, I mean, against Phoenix, it's okay to be ranged or melee, but ranged are still a bit better, ideally. And being able to stop all those ranged attacks with the Arena Blood is fantastic. You essentially have to either get BKB or die to the Supernova. It's a really good combo. I'd argue it's a bit better than the Overgrowth combo because it's not dispellable. You can't dispel the Arena Blood, so you require literally a BKB to counter it. And then immediately they go for the Bane. Honestly, these are really good pickups because the heroes that counter both Mars and Phoenix are heroes that traditionally have just a way of becoming magic immune, and Bane traditionally counters those heroes as well. So it's very well done. The Riki, though, is a good answer by Friends. It's a hero with mobility that can evade the Arena of Blood. It's probably one of the best counters to Mars. You can smoke screen in the middle of the arena, making his spear impossible. You can stop his God's Rebuke. And more importantly, Blink Strike and Tricks of the Trade both get you out of the arena without the need of BKB, which means Bane won't counter you as easily. So it's a good answer. I'm assuming there's a Weaver support that we have been seeing a lot, especially in the CIS region. Quite strong from what I've seen. The time-lapse is wonderful. He is pretty good against Weaver and against Coddle. It's part of the reason why Weaver support has been played a lot these days. Dishes out a ton of damage and is really good with Riki because the Weaver adds to the physical damage that Riki traditionally does. There is a lack of catch here on Friends, which FlytoMoon could take a bit of advantage of. But for now, none of these heroes are particularly good against, like, neither Phoenix nor Mars nor Bane like dealing with silence to begin with. There's no need for stuns here just yet. Now, Phantom Lancer, perhaps a much better hero. Is a good hero to deal with a lack of catch. But Friends answered well, honestly. I think this lineup by Friends is much more solid. They go for the Legion Commander pick, probably predicting this Phantom Lancer. She brings a Dispel to the table, so a way to deal with the Phoenix. She brings, actually, extra attack speed, so another way to deal with the Phoenix. In fact, she also brings a way to deal with Bane as well, because he has a lot of these single-target stuns. Her duel is a fantastic necessary catch to deal with Phantom Lancer or Phoenix. You really did need something to keep him in place, especially with fast heroes with passives, like, again, Phantom Lancer. And she's also a really good hero in combination, or against Phantom Lancer, both in lane and outside of it, because of the overwhelming odds, and because of her strong laning phase. So, overall, very solid draft by Friends for now. maybe a bit on the aggressive side. Again, this time they're actually running the faster draft, where FlytoMoon seems to be running the slower draft. But FlytoMoon's mid game is terrifying. And this final pick of Pugna does make this draft much quicker now for FlytoMoon. So it's hard to gauge now. It's hard to gauge. But you have the counter pick against the Pugna. We'll see what they do. I mean, the last pick is on Friends. What are good picks against Pugna? Honestly, the fittest draft, Kunkka. Kunkka is really solid. Kunkka destroys Pugna. Even though Pugna seems to beat Kunkka in the lane, once he hit... Actually, with a change to Life Train, it might be a bit different. Pugna can't really counter the Ghost Ship Torrent combo, which makes him super vulnerable to that. And before it used to be the case that Life Train was just easily cancelled by that. And then you weren't too worried about him. But now it's a bit different, right? Because now the Life Train has a much lower cooldown, so maybe the Kunkka matchup is not as Kunkka favored anymore. It's hard to tell, to be honest. Yeah, maybe it is much more Pugna favored now. What other heroes that would deal well? Ember would have been fantastic, of course. Alk would actually be okay, so is Void Spirit, both of which are okay here. I don't love the Alk against the Pugna though. I do love the Void Spirit against Pugna. I think you're probably gonna have an easy time because you can always last it with your shield, with your Resonant Pulse, and the Aether Remnant to catch the Pugna is nice. He's also a pretty good hero at dealing with Phantom Lancer. Thinking of other heroes that deal area damage though in the mid lane. You can go for the SF. SF is another hero that does well. Alright, Storm. Okay. Storm is okay. Storm is just okay. He is not particularly a hero that deals amazingly. So the Storm Spirit is okay against Pugna. You deal alright against him. This is a bit of a Stormer classic, the Pugna, so he probably knows this matchup quite well. I wouldn't say he beats Pugna. He has enough lane control to deal with him okay and usually not miss too many last hits because Static Remnant. In the mid game, it becomes very difficult for Pugna to deal with him though. And Storm is a really good hero against Phantom Lancer. Also, he fulfills the requirement of being able to get out of the Arena of Blood without the need of a BKB. Which is actually something I wasn't considering for the picks I was mentioning. So it's a good point. It's also an Ush classic. I would say that Ush probably best known for his Shadow Fiend and his Storm Spirit. At least that's what I know him for. Shadow Fiend and Storm Spirit. Yeah, I like this. I like this draft by friends. I like it more than last draft, if I'm honest with you. I think they have a relatively fast lineup. Both teams have a relatively fast lineup. I would argue. Definitely FlytoMoon a faster lineup with a Pugna pick. But Friends has really strong lanes. The Lich, I'm really hoping it's going to be a Lich Ricky and then Legion Commander Weaver. And you have really solid lanes, both of them. The supports are much stronger than enemy supports. Even though Phoenix and Bane are good supports generally, Lich is better than Bane and Weaver beats Phoenix. So you kind of want those matchups if possible. Because Weaver just destroys Phoenix. If not, it's fine. Weaver's also pretty good against Bane, and Lich is also pretty good against Phoenix. You're not too bothered by this, right? Taking advantage of the low armor, these supports is crucial here. I am really hoping now that I see the lanes that Legion goes with Lich, because you want the Weaver against Phoenix. Weaver just it's not even a question. She has way too much base attack, or he has way too much base attack damage. He reduces armor as well. He has way too much mobility. There's no way to outrun him. Is FlytoMoon 2.0 a different team than FlytoMoon? Yes, sort of. I mean, they're just not the same sponsor. They're not sponsored. I mean, they have changed, I think, one player, but they're just not sponsored by FlytoMoon. That's why they're different. Yeah, it's surprising. I think that the lane should go in their favor. The mid lane is probably the only matchup that I'm not so certain about. I still think is Pugna favored, even if Storm does not get destroyed, much like other heroes. It's still Pugna favored, because Pugna is such a strong laner in general. And Pugna can also take a tower, which Storm can't. Storm is also much slower than Pugna, so the faster draft I would definitely argue is for FlytoMoon. But the advantage here that Friends does have is that they have a lot of easy kill potential, which Pugna does not like to deal with. Like, Pugna is super weak against heroes like Storm or Ricky because they can just catch you in the backlines. Even to some degree, Weaver and Legion Commander. And Bane and Phoenix, I can even say the same thing about them, to be perfectly honest. This Bane was really well played, actually. Bane played this really intelligently. They are going to run the Weaver with the Legion and the Lich with the Ricky, which in paper seem like better lanes, but they don't counter the enemy as well. I would argue that you want to put more pressure against the Phantom Lancer as well with a Lich, who's a much better laner than Weaver, even though Weaver is okay. And Lich is not going to be able to also kill that courier. If you had rotated the Weaver, it would have been much faster. You would have killed the courier already. And for now, it does seem like this lane is a bit... the shenanigans for Stormer are going to start once he gets to curl high. Until then, it's going to be a bit difficult to really beat the Storm. Storm has a lot of base attack damage, he has really good animation, and it's attack round. So it's not likely that you're going to beat him in terms of assets. Ricky is also going to suffer a lot against the Phoenix. Lucky for Ricky, he has really good base HP, so he's actually able to withstand Phoenix's damage quite decently. Also, really, I think one of the best base region, if not the best base region in the game. So the damage over time that Phoenix does is not so concerning to them. However, the problem does come from the fact that Phoenix deals a ridiculous amount of damage regardless, right? So it's not like Ricky wants to deal with him in general. And here we see the struggles. You have the guy that deals magic damage against a hero that tanks magic damage like there's no tomorrow, and also mitigates a lot of your physical damage. So Sensibility is really relying on the Frost Blast to actually hurt the Phoenix. Something Weaver would not have to do because she can just kite him. And in the bottom lane, you have Weaver not struggling against the Bane. This is a huge mistake by Friends in terms of laning. I understand that you want these kind of lanes ideally, but the supports are really soft lanes to better win the support matchups. No Fear could go down here though. There's one last Frost Blast. There is no mana. There is no mana. Sensibility cuts on the tree. No Fear doesn't know where he is. They actually should acknowledge now that there's no ward because he had to cut down a tree. Meaning that there's clearly have no ward there. Phoenix is still going forward though. No Fear. Literally honoring his name and going forward like there's no tomorrow. They know that I think the Lich has no mana. So Lich has not become a threat. And there's another issue, right? Lich doesn't have the greatest base attack damage either. Good amount of last sitting on the Pugna, by the way. 5 denies already is really solid. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, we see there's not much pressure put against the PL, but at least the Ricky's doing a bit better than him. I really would like the supports to swap lanes, though. Nice courier kill there. Killing Illidan's courier is actually a big deal. If Sensibility dies here, they might consider swapping lanes. They should really consider it. Stormer. In trouble, actually. Shush got distracted, though. And went for the courier instead, not the goal, not the play there. It's okay. Dodgy didn't go for the level in Swarm. I've seen a lot of variations in the Weaver builds. I like the Gemini Attack build particularly because it also kills couriers. The Swarm build deals more damage most of the time. It is also very dependent though on mana. And there we go. Another attempt. Sees the courier. Courier immediately killed. At least to get the sentry in time. But sentries against Weaver are not the greatest thing. It's usually used. The reason why people buy sentries against Weaver is because time-lapse dispels the dust, which is fine. But early game dust is much better than sentries, especially now with the new Shikuchi. Because now Shikuchi doesn't actually put you at max movement speed. It actually puts you at it gives you extra movement speed, which makes you much more vulnerable to 20% slow by dust, because actually 20% slow becomes a lot of slow, because Weaver can actually be slowed. So it's a big deal. Now Stormer here in the mid lane, okay, support by Dodgy. Nice that he actually went for an early level in the Nether Ward. I actually like this a lot. Storm is usually a hero that spams a fair amount of spells, and even has a magic wand to spam even more spells, so it would not be surprising that he kills himself by accident. And there we go, the endless plight of Dodgy. He cannot beat Fishman. Bane is just a better laner than Weaver, and Bane trades better than Weaver. He has way too much armor and way too much damage. And look at this, Dodgy, okay, you go forward, okay, you secure the rune for Ashish, which is important, but you yourself cannot beat this Bane, and you require the help of the Storm. It's not working in their favor. It's really just the Legion Commander that's pulling the weight here. So again, I'm very surprised by this. I don't think the Lich is also doing much here in this top lane, as we can see that the PL's farm is actually very similar to the Ricky's. So, honestly, I'm going to beat this dead horse to the ground. I want the supports to change lanes. It would definitely be the right play, but these teams just don't seem comfortable with doing that. So, whatever. No big deal. People need to notice this more. I think top tier teams, actually, if you notice top tier teams are rotating supports much more often now, because people are starting to notice that what wins lanes nowadays are actually supports, not cores. That's much more major. What I will say about the Weaver is he is getting a ton of these courier kills. Already got 2, the Phantom Lancers and the Banes. Might find a third here. Ashish here in the mid lane, acknowledges he can't really use Static Remnant. There we go, goes for the PL Courier, very smart. And Courier's dead. That's why you go for the Gemini attack, but Dodgy might die. Nice, though. Stopping the Phantom Rush extra damage by using the shadows, but he might go down regardless. Shikuchi, just last second. Good enough. And he's going to let him survive. Should definitely TP now. back home. I know he's going to try to snipe the mid-courier, but mid-courier just appeared. He is, of course, not aware of this information. So he thinks the mid-courier might come by at sometime soon. He might also just commit suicide to the tower, to be perfectly honest. It's hard to tell. He just put a ward there to snipe more couriers. This style of play... Oh, Stormstormer, how did he get the kill there? Was that Life Train? That was Life Train, apparently. Okay. Alright, so this is actually a big deal in the matchup between Storm and Pugna. That's something I mentioned earlier, which is that the Storm and Pugna matchup is very dependent on who gets level 6 first. It's actually a big deal. I'm aware of this courier snipe. This courier snipe is going to be very important. Oh, the creeps just witnessed. Yes. Come on, Weaver. Come on. You know where the creeps are.
EGB, your esports betting world. The only place to find the widest choice of popular games and matches to win real money. Choose your bet on a single event or express of several matches with dizzy odds. Serving the market for 7 years with over 800,000 users. Join now to get your bonus for the first deposit up to $600. EGB, you know for sure who's gonna win.
And Stormstormer is also one of his comfortable heroes. You don't lose the lane as hard as other heroes would though, so I think that's your advantage. And Storm's going to be comfortable with that. But he is going to have a... He is slower. They're going to have to play a bit defensively in the early game. I don't know how Friends can help themselves from being run over. The idea is that once they get to the mid game, they'll probably get on Storm, with Impact probably going to be able to last this. And we'll see. They're probably going to be able to withstand this and take a couple kills. Very bad overwhelming odds there. The top lane, Ricky's also fallen behind. He's also a hero that requires for this lane to go a bit better than it is. But like I mentioned, the Lich didn't really do much against the Phoenix. Phoenix is just a better lane support. So what could have been much better for Friends, they lost because of the not taking into account the support matchups. Oh no, doggy. Oh no. Just gave an Arcane Ring for free to Nangrata. Except for Merle Jelly or any of the consumables in Tier 1, the best non-consumable Tier 1 item is by far the Arcane Ring. People always think about the extra mana, and the extra mana is nice, but what really is that it gives you a great intelligence stat and armor. Usually very underappreciated, the armor that you get from that item. Finally, Weaver goes into the top lane. It's a bit too late. They're swapping lanes. Sedoi could be in trouble. Have a duel here, but I don't think it can be used. Oh, he runs out of the arena. Look at that, like he's Speedy Gonzalez. Ay, ay, ay. Sedoi gets away, no problem. Now, overall, we got into 3 heroes, which gives you so much movement speed. In the bottom lane, now Plov has a much easier time dealing with the Bane than the Legion Commander did. And for now, they'll keep these swapped lanes. It seems like they're not swapping No Fear just yet. It's fascinating how this swapped lane suddenly works for you, and Legion Commander is just... The only thing that ended up swapping is the supports, and look how easier it is for them now to lane. Friends actually has a laning stage now, because they swapped the support. It's crazy. It's actually crazy. That is proves my point entirely. Dodgy is going to go down here, though, because, of course, Mars is still here. You have 2 cores in a single lane. Sedoi survived this, surprisingly enough, but it's going to be very tough for him. And looking for a Spear of Mars is going to be way too easy. Sedoi is in trouble. Why was he staying there so long? Nobody knows. He has the press the attack, does not have press the attack. It's not a single point in press the attack. It means he can't really dispel those spirits, by the way. Blink Strike is available, but he didn't want to go any further because they probably had Dust, and Stormstormer is even joining in, so they're 5-manning from the start. Here are the TPs onto the outpost. Weaver and Storm actually joining here. Let's see what they go for. Storm going in onto Dongrata. Doesn't deal much damage with the wall lightning, but they try to kill the Phoenix first, and they do accomplish it. Now they start to heal Dongrata. Electric Vortex to keep him in place. Dongrata in trouble. Not going to be helped by the Pugna, who just tries to blast the enemy team away. Not going to be successful there. They also put a tree in the middle of the lane. Terrible choice. I'm not really sure what that was for. No, actually, they probably wanted the quick mangoes for some reason, and I'm not really sure what that was, but it didn't seem to yield any results, so who cares? Meanwhile, Sensibility actually appreciates his time to just go back to his level 6, and so does Fishman. It's very important to get a Fiend Script and also to get that Chain Thrust. Sensibility, okay, here they hit with another blast as well, plus Life Drain, probably going to go down unless he Sinister Gazes. And with a Sinister Gaze, he manages to stop the Life Drain and save himself. Very well played. If he actually continues to run away, he would have survived as well, but would have taken more damage unnecessarily. So. Sometimes that it seems counterproductive to run at the enemy, but it's the right play. It's definitely the right play. Bounty runes go the way of FlytoMoon for now. Okay, life trade immediately dispelled, of course, by the Weaver. No problem there. And Fishman. Alright, looking for a potential kill here. There are a couple TPs. Sedoi TPing, Ocean Rush as well. And Sedoi comes with a duel. He actually went for 2 points in the passive as opposed to taking a single point and press the attack. Surprising. Non-Grata in trouble. There we go. Arena Blood. Stormstormer though. That's the target. That's the right target as well. They have duel ready, but they push him back. Overwhelming odds, and they guarantee the kill on Stormstormer. Now the duel was going to be used on Non-Grata. They have to hit him from behind though. That duel is not going to complete in time actually. So Non-Grata will not give away duel damage, but at least Friends will be able to get the kill regardless. 2 cores for free there, and also 2 of your cores are supposed to be space creating, so this is pretty good for Friends. A bit of a rest, a bit of a breather here, but you are still behind considerably in terms of net worth, and Illidan continues to farm. He's not very far away from the Fusel Blade, like 800 gold away, more or less, so he is, I mean more than that. He is quite comfortable with how the game is going right now. There's the Nightmare into the Fiend's script, of course, plus everything in the world, so they kill the Weaver immediately. Dodgy is gone. 23 seconds without him, not a big deal. The Weaver's supposed to scout anyway and die. Honestly, the only item that Weaver really needs is... The only item that Weaver really needs is Yags. You don't need anything else. I mean, obviously Medallion and stuff is nice, but who cares? Oh, they just denied that ward. Wow, surprising. That was a really quick denial on the Phoenix, huh? So he went for the double bracing, which is interesting. So he's going for a full tank today. I hope that he goes for pipe as well this game, honestly. Then Blink Dagger. Who cares about Blink Dagger this game? You're not going to have the early activation. The enemy team is just faster than you. You have to just learn to deal with the Phantom Lancer. That's the best way to play this game, honestly. Try to beat the Phantom Lancer in the late game. I would rarely suggest this tactic because Phantom Lancer is such a solid late game. He's such a hard hero to deal with. But winning the early game for you seems impossible. The only hope you have right now is to try to beat the mid game. But you're up against a Supernova Arena of Blood in the mid game, so it's not a particularly easy item. Hush, hush. Okay, he's nearby. This is the good TP, by the way. Not revealing himself just yet. Go Ball Lightning. There we go. They go for the Pugna in the backline. Supporter keeping the enemy team at bay. Making sure Non-Grata wastes his ultimate. They're still looking for the kill here, though. Ball Lightning for Non-Grata. They have a duel ready on Sedoi. And he comes. Another great Decrepify. This time Sedoi is more than ready. Stormstormer the target. They Nightmare him. Stormstormer still going to go down to the Ricky. And they can't destroy the second time. Can they kill it? No. Only 4 hits were required, but Sedoi was unable to complete them. Still not able to use his duel. Just trying to find a Phoenix. TP's in time. Sedoi being kited around. Nothing the poor kid could do. He was like one of those kids when you give a kid with ADHD candy. He's like, oh, I'll do him. No, I'll do him. No, I'll do him. And then you don't do anything because you're useless. You stupid kid. You know? Don't take candy, man. Don't give your kids candy. Give them vegetables. Right? That way they grow big and strong and they don't develop disorders. Legion Commander, unfortunately, having suffered what happens when you have a bad diet, does not get a duel off. They do end up killing Stormstormer though, which is a big deal, but you are giving a lot of space regardless to this PL. And Stormstormer is really just there in the beginning. He managed to take a couple towers, he really amplified the space that you have in the map, and he created a couple kills. That's it. He's done his job, he can rest now. It's now time for PL to take the mantle of the real carry in this game. And Stormstormer is going to be relevant regardless if he gets items or not. One of the advantages of Pugna, and one of the things that actually has changed over time, is that he's a hero that has really cheap core items. I remember back in the day, Pugna's core items were like, you would start with Ethelins usually, and then you'd go into maybe an Ag, which was very common, we saw sacrifices, Shivas, but then Pugna's didn't like that, you know, but that's too expensive for a Pugna. Pugna likes the cheap, straggly items, the ones that you can fight, you know, the fights in the streets, you can fight constantly. And so Pugna started changing their builds. First it was Ethelins into, they swapped to Ethelins and they went Ethelins into like a quick Dagon, which is much cheaper. Then they went to Dagon completely and set Ethelins into Veil of Discord. Now we're seeing Pugnas go for Ethelins, Veil, and Glimmer Cape as the core item. It is incredibly cheap, so you don't really need many items for him to be relevant. Okay, Smokescreen isn't available to get the science off. Nice job, but that egg is going to complete. Nice Arena Blood. Sedoi is going to get stunned. Nothing to do about that. At least the Ricky can get away, but Sedoi, you have been condemned. Chain Frost will only hit 2, not too much damage. Dodgy still looking for the kill. They go for Fishman. Nice Nightmare stopping the poor Plov. who just can't deal damage. He can't catch a break. Finally, the Storm joins in, and he knows the Phoenix has no egg. He knows there's no Icarus dive on him, but they lack the damage to actually kill him off. In fact, since ability is going to go down and Dodgy might fall him to the grave, he has a last Shikuchi so he can get away. But we have seen the weakness here of Friends. They lack the damage in these team fights because they just can't keep hitting. There's too many stuns, and oh my god, I cannot believe I just saw Dodgy get hit by a spear of Mars. You're one of the fastest heroes in the game, and you literally man-fight Mars with your back to a tree. You're just asking for it. It seems like here in the mid lane, Storm, Weaver, and Lich are converging. In the bottom lane as well, we see that Ricky trying to run away. And unfortunately, all this time, while they've been fighting, because Ricky is forced to engage in these fights because they need to fight early, the PL has just been amassing such a crazy amount of farm. Now, it doesn't seem like Friends will have the tools to deal with him anytime soon. On top of the fact that FlytoMoon have a much better team fight, it's going to be tough for Friends to really beat this. Shush. Going for no fear. Alright. After Vortex. Nice. Birdie. Keep a bird caged, man. If you let them out in captivity, nah, they do terrible things. So you better leash the bird. When you bring out your parrot for a walk, you always gotta carry it on a leash. And Storm is demonstrating good bird ethics. There's the pipes I was asking Sado to build. Good job. I appreciate this pipe greatly. Definitely a good choice. There's the Diffusal Blade on the Ricky, so you're starting to get some items. And Diffusal Blade will amplify his damage ridiculously, so maybe now he has a chance to actually fight the enemy team and take advantage of the Ricky. They still don't have a way to deal with Illidan. And honestly, Illidan's Diffusal Blade is so scary right now. If you go in as a Storm and you get hit in a couple times with that Diffusal Blade, you're going to lose all your mana. So it's very important that Storm is just careful at this point. Here they fight and take down Guarda first, but careful, the egg, they can't finish this time. They have to destroy it. There we go. No fear is finally done. And with a duel, they catch Bane as well. This time now, you start to question, does FlytoMoon need to include the PL in fights? And the answer is yes. If they want to fight, they need to include the PL. Stormer is now being chased by Dodgy, but unfortunately, you are a Weaver. So, honestly, the Regen rune on Storm? No way. Weaver just served as a scout so the Storm could jump in, kill Stormer, and yep, your name might include Storm's name, but now you also include Storm's damage. Shush taking a quick kill, has to get away though. That's what I talk about. The Diffusal Blade is brutal. They just destroy poor Shush. Can't really fight this. Rushing for that Bloodstone as well, by the way. And Plov at least takes advantage of this time to actually farm a bit. And now we're seeing the point of inflection for Friends. They've managed to force the 4-1 to stop. Illidan SDR cannot keep on fighting. He has to join his teammates to actually deal some damage. Let's see how this turns out. Because I'm kind of scared. Illidan seems a bit too strong. There's no way that Friends can fight him easily right now. They have some... I don't know why he has another Shawl. It's beyond me that he has another Shawl. I guess for the magic resist. But he has a ridiculous amount of damage. He can easily kill a Storm, easily kill the Ricky as well. The only thing that's concerning right now is the Legion Commander. Friends, they're not too far behind, and they definitely have a chance this game, but they have to figure out the puzzle. The only puzzle here is the Phantom Lancer. The issue with FlytoMoon, a second time again, is that they are kind of running into this lineup that is very 4-1 oriented, and I will mention this too. I will beat this dead horse to oblivion, because if you actually notice all the drafts that we're seeing nowadays by pro teams, by especially the top tier teams, you're noticing that they're desperately trying to avoid the 4-1. It's not just that the style is bad in the, like, as a premise. Like, obviously we're not seeing any drafts with Medusa or Spectre or Anti-Mage as the only thing, or not commonly at least. But on top of that, we're actually seeing drafts that are so afraid of becoming 4-1. Like, if you lose, for example, a lot of drafts have a tendency to actually become 4-1 drafts, because you just give all your farm to your carry, and your carry is like your biggest guy. And so many teams are so afraid of even this happening in a game that they actually explicitly draft against it, so you always have two cores. So one core can, for example, take the easy farm, and one core can take the dangerous farm every single time. And we're seeing this everywhere. So it's surprising to me that FlytoMoon defaults this draft that is so bad that teams are particularly evading it like the plague in any stage of the game. It's interesting and also not too great, right? There are ways to deal 4-1, and the biggest way is you deal with the main core, main carry. They're done. There's too many items nowadays for you not to be able to deal with a main carry. Of course, it's still not into that position of the draft. Of course, the PL is the most farmed hero, but it's not by that much. Interesting, since you can't see him, Fishman actually can't get hit by the shield. Anyway. Didn't know that's how it worked with smokes as well, but it's fascinating. Anyway, my point is, the draft here by FlytoMoon will default to that as the game progresses, and it's a simple puzzle to solve. There are ways to deal with this. If the Pugna was doing more, if the Mars maybe became a carry, then it became a bit more difficult. But as it stands, you figure out a way to deal with the PL, you win the game. And that's not too difficult, as I mentioned. I love, by the way, that this Weaver decided not to go for Spirit Vessel, in a sense decided to go for a much better Aghanim. Not only does Aghanim bring a Dispel, but you also have a hero that can Dispel the Spirit Vessel, being the PL, so it's not that great. The only hero you really want to Spirit Vessel is the Pugna right now. So Doi could be in trouble. The Chain Frost immediately used and immediately wasted. They do kill the... Oh, they managed to finish the Bane. No, he's in the wall. There we go. Bane commits suicide. This dies. And they only catch Plov in that Arena of Blood. Sensibility will die, of course, as a result, but it's a support for support. Wasting the Arena of Blood, but also wasting the Chain Frost. So it's kind of an even little matchup there. Eldin has Monster-style Diffusal Blade, so he's more than ready to fight, and he has to be able to fight with his team. He has to create some space. He has to take advantage of all the space that he's been given. Meanwhile, Storm Spirit, on a different side, has his Bloodstone finished off, so the core items for both these heroes are done. Storm is going to have a bit more trouble. Luckily, though, Kaya does mitigate a bit of the damage that Diffusal Blade does, so that's always a huge plus there. And now let's see, Illidan. I don't know if they're gunning for this kill. It seems a bit difficult, even with duel on Sidoi. They use a smoke, but Sidoi doesn't have Blink Dagger. He's gone for the pipe build, which I love, by the way. I think is the right build, but without Blink Dagger, these kind of initiations are much harder, of course. They might just end up finding the Bane, which is not the hero you want to kill here. Yeah, okay, end up finding the Bane. Fishman will definitely tank the smoke. You gotta get back to the high ground. Legion goes to the high ground, great. But you don't really want to fight them. You know what the enemy team is. Can you really commit to a team fight? It's a bit tough. You gotta kill Non-Grata or the Phoenix early to prevent that from happening. It's all up to the Ricky. Plov, okay, there's for the sentry. Ricky, really gunning for that Phoenix. You see how far forward he is, so he can actually catch the Phoenix in time. Let's just gonna tank that Arena Blast. That's not bad, actually. They go for the Phoenix. That's a Supernova. The Phoenix, can they kill him in time? Yes, Supernova's been destroyed. And thanks to the smoke screen, they can keep on fighting there. The Storm is just kiting everyone around. Stormstormer is a target for Hush with his double damage rune. One last jump, and Stormstormer will be gone. Well played there by friends, but they already lost to Ricky, and without that, it makes it impossible. Sidoi, actually saved by the Spear of Mars, might be able to get away because of this. The Diffusal Blade makes this impossible though. Still has a magic wand, but doesn't really help. In comes the Storm to give him a bit of space. Actually might just finish off the Bane, and Bane's gone. They might try to kill off No Fear as well, but the Storm and the Spear of Mars stops him completely. Sensibility does not come out in time, and he got a bit too greedy. Shush, thinking you could kill the two supports, but it just didn't happen. Illidan was also trying to force the kill onto the Lich, but it didn't happen either. Meanwhile, though, in the backlines, the Weaver is chasing after the Phoenix and might force the dieback regardless. Phoenix is going really low, tries to curse dive, gonna die regardless.
Your
70
esports
seconds down,
betting
actually a big
world.
deal.
The only place to find the widest choice of popular games and matches to win real money. Choose your bet on a single event or express of several matches with dizzy odds. Serving the market for 7 years with over 800,000 users. Join now to get your bonus for the first deposit up to $600. EGB. You know for sure who's gonna win.
in the middle lane. FlytoMoon has got a pretty good engagement for themselves, mainly because of the kill of the Ricky. It's very difficult to play this engagement for friends. So they're trying their best, but honestly, as I said, you're up against a lot of team fights, so FlytoMoon does definitely have the upper hand in this game. You have to be able to deal with this PL, deal with the Phoenix. It's not the easiest thing. The Agons and the Weaver are good. Once you get the Agonyms, then you actually can save your Storm. Thanks to the kills the Storm got, by the way, the Bloodstone charges weren't that affected, so it's not that big a deal. Shikuchi's available for dodgy, but immediately gets killed with a God's Rebuke. They want to fight this. They go in. Fishman seems to be the target by Ashish, and the Dragonfly saves his life. Sidoi also coming by, but they're just ignoring Illidan. He deals way too much damage. Actually went for an early basher, and now Sidoi goes down. No problem for FlytoMoon, who is now going to go for the Roshan. And here's the thing about the... Here's the thing about FlytoMoon, is that they have been playing... Or, sorry, about the PL. Illidan was very smart with his build because he could have gone for a defensive item next, but he decided to go for the Basher, which makes it so that ignoring him is no longer an option. Even with Mother Style Diffusal Blade, ignoring him was difficult because you have very squishy heroes, very, very vulnerable to PL's damage. But now the Basher is up, you can literally not ignore him because he also even brings a stun to the table. So you have to kill the PL. But how is the question? I'm not really sure. Ball Lightning level 3 is a big point for Ashish, so maybe that will help a bit. And the Agonyms as well, so you can actually play much more aggressively. But you have to kill the PL, you have to kill the Phoenix, you have to kill the Mars, you have to kill the Bane. All these heroes have to die in the early game. Even, I would argue, the Pugna has to die. Unless you go for a Nullifier build, which might be a consideration at this point. It's just very tough. It's very tough. In this game, because of the draft, and because... no, not because of the draft, because of their lanes. Because they chose to put the Weaver... They messed up so hard with the supports lanes, it just snowballed from there. And it seems like a small mistake, but it's the kind of mistake that loses you the game. Literally. It's the kind of mistake that loses you the game. No fear. Going on further. There's the tier 3. Okay, Bolt Lightning. It has double damage, actually. That's Ball Lightning level 3, by the way, so it deals the most damage. They managed to defend this nicely while they let the Weaver farm, by the way. Look at this. This is what I was talking about, by the way. They don't want to run in the formative 1, so they actually have the Weaver also farm so he can get his Ags. And they're going for very dangerous farm while the Storm tries to defend best they can these racks. And they're playing this properly. This is the best way to play against a losing match. But it's still very tough. Weaver's now finally cutting the lane here in the mid lane, but that stupid catapult plus all the Pugna spam makes it very difficult to defend these racks. Sensibility constantly doing what he can. There we go. Finally, Catapult is destroyed. Now the Vector Protection should kick in, but it's still going to take us 5 seconds or so. So that's enough time to destroy these racks. And that's going to be a huge win going the way of FlytoMoon. At least Ricky took advantage this time to farm, and so did the Weaver. So we're closer to the Ags. And Ricky's probably closer to his next item, but you still lost a lot. There's 500 gold for the Ags. Dodgy's waiting for it. Such a crucial part.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team pick. Bang.
Hmm.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
I'm thinking of options for friends right now because it's becoming difficult. The Battle Fury seems to be the option for Plav. Alright, you have to do this. This is one of those things I was talking about. If you deal with the PL, you win the game, so find a way to deal with the PL. BKB on Ashish is also a really good option. He's a small points of inflection. I don't think they're enough, though, to win this next team fight. Aghanim's also huge here. Abyssal, though, is finished up on the PL. Now Storm is in trouble. Now Storm has to be really, really careful. Look how they're playing as well. They're gunning for kills because they know if they get a kill, they essentially win the game right now. They get a kill on one of the cores, the game is won right now for them. You can't ignore this next team fight. You have to get the Storm to back. You have to fight this with the new tools. Otherwise, 2 lanes are racks down. You're pretty much giving up the game at that point. And it's like, why play? There we go. There's the Storm. Ashish joining in. Timeless immediately. So they're going to play with this kind of little cheeky idea. Sure. Sure, I guess you can play with this temporarily, but it's not gonna last you for long, and eventually they'll bring down the towers. You can't use these cheeky plays against a Pugna. It's very, very difficult. Even if you clear the creep wave, Pugna has so many tools to deal with you. Okay, they go for the PL now. That's an interesting start of the team fight. Ball lightning still available. They're gonna kill the Lich immediately. But sensibility lasting a bit too long. And there goes the Ricky as well, the smoke screen. There's a supernova been triggered, but nobody's attacking the supernova. And with a Fiend script, can they save him? They do. Time lapse to save the poor Storm. But Weir might die because of this. Dodgy has to get away. Shakuchi in time, and he does get away as well. Okay, so nobody's died for friends, which is surprising. All the ultimates have been used here. And there's a BKB still in the Storm. Why does he not use the BKB in time? He does ball lighting himself to safety, though. Ooh, that Storm. Could have BKB'd there to save himself, but he didn't.
10 seconds.
Oh, so close. Thank God for this Weaver. That Ag literally did a number on them.
5 seconds.
With the time lapse, the Fiend script keeps getting ignored. You did multiple time lapse there. You actually played around with the Storm. Well played.
Radiant team pick. Dire team pick.
Pugna.
Plov. How far away are you from the Battle Fury? Yeah, still like 400 gold away. 600 gold away. You need a couple creep waves here. The problem is you can't even get the bounties. You're losing all the map pressure, of course, and we're seeing this. Like, just the 4 bounties alone are so much. Oh, no, this nightmare. Oh, no. This could turn into a legitimate nightmare. Dodgy time-lapsed him just to save him. Oshush can get away now. It's interesting because the time-lapse is used as a dispel, but it's more than that, and the pressed attack has not been used to dispel a single time, so maybe Sidoi needs some movement, because the pressed attack needs to be able to be used as a dispel more often than it is. Seems a bit of a useless thing. Okay. Stormer's actually managed to defend this quite nicely now. He's one of the best defenders of the high ground. He's also going for the Aghanim's Electric Vortex. Just waiting for the Ricky to get a Battle Fury. And I think maybe that's the last point. Once they get the Battle Fury on Ricky, they're able to fight this. And Battle Fury on Ricky is quite legitimate. It's not just used against Phantom Lancer. It's just a good build in general. It helps you farm a lot as well. Now the tower is gone, though. That's a big deal because now you don't have a natural defense against them. Ricky, where's your Battle Fury, mate? You're late. You're late on the Battle Fury. You need to get it now. You need to be able to TP. It doesn't matter if you have buyback, honestly, at this point. You're going to lose the game if you can't win a team fight. So see how they do this. The illusions from PL are alone keeping the Legion Commander at bay. Where's the Ricky? Still no Ricky. Still no Ricky. And Oshush is the only one. There we go. That was expected to happen, of course. Time lapse still to save him. Nice job. Oshush could still be in trouble. There's finally the Battle Fury on Ricky. And now we're going to see rotation. Probably for the team fight that they need. Illidan, the target. Alright, silence first. Make sure that Illidan can't really hit. He has to do his best with the Manta style. Wasted tricks of the trade. Incredibly wasted tricks of the trade. Plov, what are you doing, man? Plov is losing the Plov. Plov is losing the plot right now. 2 lanes of racks done, and you managed to do absolutely nothing to defend these 2 lanes of racks until now, friends. At least, to their credit, it hasn't been a throw. They've lost consistently from the beginning of the game, so at least that's nice to see. At least it's nice that they consistently throwing from the beginning. Better than the last game.
Prepare for battle.
Better luck next time.
Now the only hope that Friends has of really bringing this game back is kind of taking a team fight really outside of their base and hoping that it goes well. Yeah, the high ground defense could happen, but honestly, the high ground defense has been so difficult. You kind of need to force a team fight outside, hope that they force ultimates, and use your extra mobility to just take the advantage. There's not really many items that are going to win you this game right now. Ricky, even if you go Monstyle on Ricky and stuff, you're looking like the damage anyway. And that's the problem with PL. People always think of, oh, I need to deal with the illusions. But yeah, PL is so much more than just an illusion creating hero. He has a natural escape. He is able to literally rush at you. And on top of that, he's able to... on top of that, he's able to escape with its save ability and get extra agility, which means a lot of armor naturally. Ricky doesn't deal well with these kind of heroes. He is not a good hero against PL. PL is a natural counter to Ricky. And even with the Battle Fury, it's not going to change things too much. You also lack team fight. Legion Commander has not really been useful this game whatsoever. I didn't mind the Legion Commander this game.
The battle begins.
I didn't mind the Legion Commander initially because I thought it was a good pick against PL, but they messed up so much by not putting her against the Legion Commander. Sorry, against the Phoenix. More important by putting her against the Bane, actually. And by not even putting the Weaver. I mean, there's so many mistakes in the early game in the lanes, which I hope that Friends observes later. Goodbye, Weaver. That was a well-played play by the Bane as well. Catching the Weaver as he was falling back. Trying to push the lanes best they can, and the bottom lane is the easiest one to push right now, hoping that they can at least get a tower, but I mean, Sidoi, you're in trouble. He has Blink Dagger now, or I mean, he has had the Blink Dagger for a while, does not seem to be very successful with it. He's just afraid to duel someone, because he knows it's probably going to go down. The best option is to actually duel Stormer, because the card just completely cancels your duel, and now you need to defend it. Storm needs to get back. I don't understand why they keep... They're playing this like, oh no, I'm gonna just lose a couple lanes racks. The passivity by which Friends are playing this is ridiculous. And no, they see the Ricky. They see the Ricky, they actually manage to spear him back. That's Blink Strike and Tricks of the Trade wasted. So they have to wait a bit longer. They force the Glyph, this is understandable. And finally, Ushush is here to join them. He has Ags as well. Dodgy is also ready. If only they could get some counter kills, but they're losing because of passivity. They're just letting this happen. They're letting the current take them, and the current is absolutely drowning them right now. Okay, here the catch. The poor Lich immediately killed off. Supernova used and nobody's destroying it. The Nightmare stops Ricky from doing anything yet again. Tricks to the Trade at least evades some of the damage from Supernova, but Sidoi's already gone in the backlines, dead. Hasn't gone his good duel yet again. Ricky's still trying to kill Stormer. It's just a futile attempt. We're starting to see some rotations here, perhaps a TP by the Legion Commander or the Lich, but oh no, with this Spear of Mars, they managed to catch the Storm, and there go your chances. Ah, even the Ricky, who has been beaten by a Bane. Has been beaten by a Bane! My god, friends. Not at the level of yeah, GG well played, there we go. Not at the level of FlytoMoon this game. Not at the level whatsoever. Honestly, this game is this game feels bad. Particularly because they had a chance to beat this. They really did have a chance to beat this. They had really strong lanes, and they could have played this early. They could have won the lanes because of that, but they messed up on the support matchups. They didn't understand that at all. They allowed the enemy team to snowball from there. And even then, the team fights were not particularly great. The Pugna gave him way too much trouble. You gave Stormer the Pugna, and he destroyed them because of that. So, huge mistakes by Friends. Complete in execution. Their draft was okay. Could have been executed better. Considerably better, to be honest. I said, guys, our partner HGB.com gives you an awesome proposal. First deposit bonus up to $600. At HGB.com, you can also find convenience service, daily quests, and a bonus system. Interesting? Click on the banner under the broadcast. That said, my name is DSwordfish. I've been your caster today, and I'll see you guys for the next game of the day.
My eternal gratitude.